Some folks have asked me what ITTY looks like. Well, there it is. And apologies in advance, this is my first YouTube video, but I thought I'd give you guys a look to see what this looks like, how this works. So we'll open up this cabinet here, and that's pretty much it. So what we have are 3 channels running here. They're internally called Greenwich, ITTY, and Auto Start, but we've renamed the Greenwich and repurposed Greenwich to be just a European channel. And so each channel has its dedicated computer here. These are nice little Intel computers. Not much to them, not super powerful, but certainly good enough for what we need. I put a solid state drive in each one, so they're very quiet. And they run the software called ITTY app. And ITTY app catches incoming traffic coming on an SMTP protocol. Normally it's sent by ITTY mailer. But they will send those in, and the files will come in, and this computer will manage the queue of those files, make sure that they meet certain criteria like line lengths and things like that are set correctly, and it will manage that queue and replay that queue out. And this computer then would take the output, would come from here, the baud out would come out its RS-232 port and then go into the HF modem. So once it's in the HF modem, you can see the different channels. So Europe is running at 50 baud with the right frequencies. The US other 2 channels are running at 45 with typical RTTY frequencies. So we've got Greenwich and then ITTY right here, and in the back we got Auto Start. I sure wish these computers would fit side by side. They actually would fit side by side on this shelf, but I worry about cooling around them, so I just push the Auto Start one back. So the audio comes, the baud out goes into the modem, and then audio comes out of this modem. And what you can't see in the back very easily, but there's there's a Raspberry Pi. Each channel has a dedicated Raspberry Pi, and the Raspberry Pi catches that audio coming from the modem and streams it to the internet. So when you listen to any one of the ITTY channels from wherever you are in the world, you are actually listening to the audio being generated by the Raspberry Pis. There's 3 Raspberry Pis, 1 for each channel. I can listen in at any point in time, just for debugging purposes. So there's our familiar ITTY sound. Auto Start's quiet right now, and the European channel with slightly different tones and 50 baud instead of 45. So that's helpful for me to understand if things are working okay. Just a quick way to listen in. Each one of these computers has a USB drive on the front of it that's connected. That's for backup. These computers back up on a regular schedule. The Raspberry Pis don't really need to back up very often. I just back them up manually. They don't have any content on them. There's not much going on there, so they're pretty stable. I've got just power for this rack as well as for my whole shack down here, and this is telling me how much power we're drawing. 2 amps. ITTY's a little bit less than 2 amps, but I've got a computer running here and some other things, so I'm up to about 2 amps right now. I do have a in the rack monitor keyboard device, so I can pull this out, and if I need to connect to any one of the computers, I can turn it on and just select the computer from here and have a full keyboard and this VGA display. I don't use that very often because most of the time I will remote into the computers using Windows Remote Desktop. On the back side of the rack, and I don't want to, it's too hard to pull out and move around right now, but there's not much to see. There's a switch up at the top. You know what? Let's go take a look at the back. Okay, here we have the back. Not too much to see. Got a switch across the top that's managing all the Ethernet, not only for the rack, but for my whole shop is coming through that switch there. There you get a better view of one of the Raspberry Pis. You can see the back side of the HAL modems, the ST8000A modems. Down here, I have a remote, a little difficult to see, but I have a remote power device. So I can remote into this, connect into this from anywhere in the world, and shut down or restart the power on any one of the ITTY channels. Each channel has its own power. So what I can do with that is I could shut it down. I would probably remote into the computers first and shut them down safely. And then I would, once I've shut those down, I would SSH into the Pis and shut those down. Actually, I've got batch files that do it all from my main computer in the house. But then once that's all done, I could turn off the power for that channel, and I could recycle it if I wanted to remotely. It's designed so if the rack loses power, it will automatically, when the power comes back, it will, the ITTY systems will automatically restart and they will resume their queues correctly. So it's fully power recovery. I don't have a UPS in here, maybe someday, but for the moment, probably if I lose power in the house, I've lost internet anyway, so no sense keeping the rack up unless I just want to safely shut down the computers. But that's a project for another day. For now, I just let them go and shut down. You know, they'll shut down and restart by themselves. So there you have it. That's how ITTY works. That's all the components, and thanks for watching.